All right, good morning. It's a rainy morning. Good morning, and welcome to the How Can I Help My Child or How Can I Support My Child series. Welcome to the show that we do every morning at 8:30 a.m. Sorry, sorry about that. All right. Sorry. Routines are not put in place. I'm so sorry. Routines are not put in place in order for us to control our children, but routines are put in place in order for us to help our children learn discipline and how to operate within boundaries. So, if you do not have routines for your children, or we do not put routines in place in our family dynamics, what we are doing is raising children who are going to struggle with discipline and self control. When we say teach as parents, the goal is to teach children within a boundary, is to teach children within a frame, right? So in that frame, our children learn boundaries and they learn what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Most times we talk there is this general thought, or there is this general belief that all we need to do is talk to our children about these things that we are talking about. Oh, we need to teach our children how to take care of themselves. We need to teach our children how to follow routines. We need to teach our children how to do this or how to do that. And most often, what we do is we just want to talk about it. We just want to say, you don't know, if you don't do this, this will happen. If you don't do that, that will happen. Now, that doesn't exactly do the trick. The trick is for whatever it is that you want to teach your child, for whatever it is you want to see in the life of your child, create a system, create a framework, create some framework, okay, that forms the boundaries and let that thing be taught to the child within that framework. Let that thing be taught to the child within a system. All right. So today we have been looking, this week we're looking at the how can I support my child to create a solid or an effective summer plan. All right. And because we always love to break things down, okay, in a way that parents can apply. So our job here is to help you create solutions. So our job is to create solutions, and what we want to do is we want to take the things that you hear as parents so many times and you are wondering, how do I go about it? What do I do? Many times we hear, do this or apply this in your parenting and apply that in your parenting. But the struggle with parents is, where do I even start from? How do I go about it? I know how many parents will take courses. I know how many parents will pay for some courses and they never get to, go through the courses, because at some point you get there and you do not know where to even begin. If this is your story, let me see you in the comment section. You have heard a lot of things, you have all the information, you have heard over and over again the things that need to be done. But each time you come to it or you want to get to it, you don't know where to start from, you don't know where to begin. And because you don't know where to begin, you begin to drag your feet, and then one day becomes 1 week, and 1 week becomes 1 month, and before you know it, you never come around to doing that thing. Is this your story? If this is your story, then let me see you in the comment section letting me know that this is your story. Okay? So we have said that there is a need for us to. I don't like the size I see here. All right, so we said there is a need for us to put a summer plan in place in order for our children to maximize the summer holiday. All right, because summer is that time where we spark curiosity. Summer is that time where we nurture creativity. It is the time where we help our children discover lifelong skills. Now, if you are just going to leave the children with no structure to achieve this, then the children will end up binging on TV, eating food, and running around the house. And before you know it, it will be the end of the summer holiday and nothing different has happened apart from apart from the fact that your children have added more stress to their lives. We don't take this into consideration. But do you know, more often than not, our children get stressed even more during the summer holiday than they do for some children during the school, I mean, a regular school term. I'll tell you why. Now we have children who wake up in the morning in many homes, and I know this for sure, right? I mean, I've not always been an intentional parent, isn't it? There was once upon a time where I didn't have all of this structure. I have friends, I have family members, so I know what I'm talking about. And of course, I work with children and work with parents. I am an educator, so I know what I'm talking about. I have children that I work with. So yes, there is that whole system where, oh yes, it's now the holiday, and then you get home. As parents, we now take it upon ourselves to make sure that our children have everything for them to enjoy the summer holiday, isn't it? For them to enjoy the holiday. And so that will include ensuring that they have network or data, right? Ensuring that they have the Wi-Fi is on, everything that they need at least to, do to get online or use technology in the home is made available. The other thing is, of course, we make sure that there's food available in the house, okay? And then we make sure that the gadgets are there, because that's the time that you feel justified to hand them the iPad or the whatever it is, gadgets that belongs to the child that you have kept away from them during the school period, right? For those who go that length. Now, for other kids, I mean, the child is back from boarding school, and so the child is home, and so you feel, okay, this is a reward period for the child. It's time to reward the child, and so you don't want to put boundaries, or you don't want to put anything that will stop the child from having, quote and unquote, a good holiday or a fun holiday. And so what happens is the boundaries go out of the window, and so children wake up in the morning and straight to the remote control in most cases, or in many cases, okay, they get something to eat. There are people who are doing the chores, there are people who are doing the job in the house, and so they eat food and then they get to watching TV or playing with their tabs or something. And it's a whole round the clock kind of thing. The children jump from one tech gadget to the next, it's one screen after the next screen, and all of that. And then, of course, when they are not watching something or playing something, they are eating something. All right. And this is it. It goes on and on. Do you know the amount of stress that is? That your child has to fix their eyes on one screen after the other. The stress on the eyes alone is there. Okay. In many cases, the children don't even take a break, right? They don't even take a break. They don't go outdoor to play in many cases. Of course, now these days we have a lot of excuses why our children should not go out. Some of us live in places where our children do not have friends. We live in places where everybody is in their compound and in their home, so they can't even come out and play, in the neighborhood. People are not, you don't have that going on in your environment. So there's all of the excuses why our children should not be out anyway, for many people. And then, of course, you are at work. You go to work during the summer holiday, and so it's not a holiday for you. And so the children have to be in because they have to be safe. So it's just them and probably, the domestic workers in the house and all of that. So the children are, first of all, cooked at home. All right. They first of all cooked at home and they can't go out. And then, of course, because they are cooked at home, we feel justified to make sure that everything that they need to entertain themselves in the house is made available. So it's usually from one gadget to the next gadget, from one screen to the next screen. All of this is stressful. Now we even take it a notch because they are on holiday, and we realize our children are up there fixed on those screens and on those gadgets all the way till some of them will be up till about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I remember one time our son was telling us how he had told his friends that he sleeps at a particular time. And this was the holiday, and they could not believe it. Like, how can you be sleeping at 9 o'clock or thereabouts on a holiday? And everybody was like, no, I sleep at 1, I sleep at 2, and all of that. So kids are up till by 11, 12, 1, 2. So of course, it's only normal that someone who goes to bed at 12 o'clock is going to get up or wake up at 11, 10, at 10, 11, 12 o'clock the next day. So this becomes the routine where children go to bed really very late, and then they wake up really very late, and then they spend the entire afternoon, of course, jumping from one screen or whatever. And then some of us want to feel like, okay, I didn't just do that. They didn't just watch TV. And so what do? You invite a lesson teacher to come in. So the children move from TV to structured learning, right? They move from TV to structured learning instructions and all of that, because somewhere, at the back of our minds, we need to prepare them for the next school year so that they are on point before they get to that school year. I mean, the same school year that the children will go, and we'll have to go through the curriculum where people will teach them the concepts. Their teachers, you're going to pay all the heavy school fees for their teachers to teach them the concepts and all of that. Yes, you feel compelled to bring someone to come and wet the ground first, and all of that. So we do all of these things and we feel justified. But can I tell you for free, dear parents, there is no need. There is really no need for this. Summer is not meant for this. The educators and those who put together this whole education program for our children are not stupid. If they have put this program and they say there should be 3 terms and there should be a break between each of these, there should be 2 semesters and there should be a break between the semesters, there should be 4 sub semesters or whatever, and there should be a break between all of these times, then they are not stupid. They are the experts. Now, that break was meant for something. The break is definitely meant for something. It's not just so that the teachers can prepare themselves. It's also so that the brain can get a rest, okay? So that we can take a break and rest from the consistent stress that goes on day in, day out, and all of that. So why have you now taken it upon yourself to decide that the children do not need these breaks simply because they are children? All right. So no, the summer holiday is not so that you fill it with lessons. The summer holiday is not the time to prepare for common entrance. The summer holiday is not for all of these things. We do these things and at the end we say, oh, okay, it works. But the truth about it is you probably wouldn't have to do this and you will still get the same result or even better result. So I started by saying that some of our children get more stressed during the summer holiday than they do, all right, during a school period. Because this is it. TV, late into the night, they're not getting enough sleep. I hope you know that there's something about the children sleeping at the right time. There's something about the children sleeping at the time where their brain repair and all of that can be maximized. So if your child is not sleeping early enough for all of that repair to happen, your child is staying up till 11, till 12 and thereabouts, you are already doing something that is harming the child's health, okay, without knowing it. All right, so we do all of this and it's a clock, the whole round the clock kind of busyness for the child during the summer holiday. And then some of us will now say, okay, I don't even want them at home. I want them to go out somewhere. And so we take them to another program where they have to wake up in the morning. There isn't that ease of, okay, I'm not in school right now, so let me relax in the morning, probably sleep to about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, or let me actually go to bed and actually sleep for 10 straight hours, and thereabouts. Because if the child goes to bed at 8 and the child wakes up at 6, the child would have had like enough sleep, and the child can set off or get off to a good start in the morning, doing the things that they have to do, both fun things and productive things, all of that. But no, we do all of this, and then the child has to wake up again in the morning, and it's a whole rat race of running and dressing up and getting their lunchbox and getting all of those things. That same routine, the head still has all that routine, all that morning rush and everything going on, because the child has to be a part of another program where you have to take them and drop them off and all of that. They're out there doing structured, all of that structure experience all over again. So at the end of the summer, the child feels like he has moved from school to school. All right. So some of these things are not necessary, dear parents. If we know what to do, you can actually create a system in your home that will allow your child learn. And I said learn because we want to reduce learning to math, science, and English. Learning is much more than math, science, and English. Learning is the child being able to take whatever it is that they have been taught, whatever experiences that they have gathered, and take this and translate it into their everyday life. Being able to take the experiences that you have gathered and use those experiences in your everyday life to transform yourself and transform the people around you. All right. When you are able to take the experiences that you have and use it to create something that is transformational, that is when we say learning has happened. So if we're going to reduce learning to just math, English, and it's a process, it goes on and on and on. Oh, you go, you get good grades, you drop it there, you get good grades, you drop it there. At what point are the children going to take all of this learning and start applying them in skillful things that can bring out tangible results? Okay, all of that learning is supposed to be woven into something that can bring out tangible results. Our children are supposed to take their learning and create solutions with their learning. Our children are supposed to take what they've learned and create, and we should see it exude in their life. So all of the learning should exude in their character, should exude in their character traits. It should exude in the way they carry themselves, in the way they speak, in the way they do the things that they do, in the solutions that they can create, in how our children respond to the stimulus or stimuli in their environment. Your child's response ability will show how much learning has gone on in the child. Your child's ability to change into to adapt to changing situations around their environment will show how much your child has learned. Your child's ability to create solutions with the resources in his environment will show how much learning your child has gotten. Do you know a simple thing as your child cooking in the kitchen would actually show how much learning your child has had in school? Because learning is beyond math and English, dear parents. Learning is far, far beyond math and English. So yes, it is still true when they say the best lessons in life are actually learned on the dinner table. The best lessons in life are actually learned at home. So there is no sense in your child going off to boarding school, being in boarding school for 12 to 14 weeks, coming home, and there are no demands, okay, on what it is that you've learned in boarding school. I want to see it reflect in the things that you do at home. Do you understand? That is how you get your feedback. Because really, how do you get your feedback? Your child has been busy the entire term. Okay, it's early morning. I mean, they're off to school in the morning. They come back. They do a bit of chore here and there at home. And then now you have a long holiday. You have the entire summer holiday. No, I want to see the transformation that education has done to you. I want to see the transformation that going to school has done to you. And that transformation can only be seen in your expressions. It can only be seen in your expressions. The things you do, the things you say, the way you act, the way you respond to problems in your environment, the way you create solutions, how you think, how critically you can think, how you can solve problems, how you can initiate tasks, how you can see things you've done through to the end, how you can plan, how you can execute. This is supposed to be the outcome, right, or the product of an education. So if all you're thinking about is one math and how they came, and they did math and how they now can solve more, and no, you are not. There is no process that is going on. There's no accountability in that process. There's no monitoring the process, accountability in that process. There is nothing. There is no feedback. Do you understand? So it's much more than that. And so summertime should be the time that you are looking out for the feedback. You are looking back, you are looking out to see the manifestation of the education that your child has had for a whole year. You want to see it manifest. You want to see it in the child's transformation. You want to see it in the child's behavior and in all that the child expresses. Okay? So this is how it should be. That if we have things like this at the back of our minds, then during the summer, we won't be looking for more instructors. We won't be looking for more instructions. We will be looking for avenues where our children can practice more, or our children can, express what it is that they have learned. All right. So whatever it is your children are doing, let it be things that your children can lead. Let it be things that your children can express. Let it be things that involve your children doing. That's what you want to see during the summer holiday. Let them be doing, let them be initiating, let them be carrying out. Okay, the closest that you should go to get to should be, okay, your children are giving tasks and they see the task through. So you want to see how they are seeing those tasks through. Okay, some of us know this, and so even when we create or we prepare programs for summer holiday, we don't prepare or create programs where children will just be docile and we are instructing and instructing and instructing. No, we don't do that during the summer holiday, because the summer holiday is your feedback period. So the most we want to do during the summer holiday is we want to put out tools there so that the children will now apply those tools, and then you can see where your child is. Okay, and another thing is you can actually do these tools together during that period, so that it creates an opportunity for you to bond, an opportunity for you to see what the child can do, and then of course to come and help the child identify and fill some of the gaps that you can see in the child's development or in the child's learning process. This is what summer holiday is supposed to be about. All right, so today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can create a routine during summer holiday. Okay, and because we know, we've been talking the whole of last week, we talked about how reading books and storytelling is essential. It is not a hobby, it is a life skill. It is something that every child needs to know how to do. It is your responsibility as a parent to do everything within your power to ensure that your children are lovers of book, your children are lovers of reading, because learning is a prerequisite skill to other skills. You will develop other skills better when the child develops reading. Reading is how learners are created. Reading is how learners are created. I shared a quote yesterday and I said that reading is a skill that your child learns on your lap. Okay, it starts right from when your child is an infant. That's where you start teaching them how to read. Every other skill is going to take its root from your child's love for reading. So if you can cultivate the habit of reading and a love for reading in your child as early as possible, you have built a solid foundation for that child. And this is why we put the 30 days reading challenge together. Okay, that challenge actually begins in 9 days. From the 1st of August, we go on this 30-day ride with your children from 0 to 13 years old. Now, within that challenge, your children are going to be we're going to be sparking curiosity. So your children are going to get curious within the challenge. The challenge is tailored to get children curious and doing things and trying to figure things out on their own. Remember, we said it is about children doing. It is about children taking all the learning that they have and expressing it. You want to see your child do, and this is not the time. We don't want to keep children in class instructing. They've had enough instruction throughout the term. This is the time where we give them tasks and we tell them to execute. You have been learning. Learning is not just about math and English. You've been learning all of that. Take all your math concepts and apply it in life. Take all your science concepts and apply it in life. Take all the social studies you have learned and apply it in your social connections and social connections. Yes, take all the civil education you have learned and apply it in how civil you are as a person. Take all of these things that you have learned and begin to let us begin to see it in your life. Let us see it. Let us see you take it and apply. Education is application. You learn, you apply. Okay, so summer is our application time. So let your child be applying. Yay, Dr. Malala, how are you doing, sis? Yesterday was something else. Thank you. I'm going back to that class anyway. How are you doing, Mama? All right, so take all of this and apply. This is what it is. This is what summer is about. All right. So yes, they jump in and yes, we move that way. So they will get their tool and they will jump into applying those tools. Do you understand? All right. So this is what we're doing for the summer holiday. Now, in this holiday, the children are also going to nurture their creativity. So it's going to be a lot of arts. It's going to be a lot of arts. It's going to be a lot of creativity. Yes, your children are going to create stuff. inside this our reading challenge. Okay, we are also going to be helping them identify and develop skills. So inside this our reading challenge, we are going to be in the kitchen, we're going to be in the living room, we're going to be in the toilet, we're going to be outdoor. Inside, it's also about exploration. Inside this our reading challenge, we're going to be exploring, we're going to be talking animals, we're going to be talking plants. We are going to be doing all of this because the summer is a time to spark curiosity. The summer is a time to nurture creativity. The summer is a time to identify skills, lifelong skills, and the summer is a time to bond with your family. So no, all of this has been put into the 30 days reading challenge. And guess what? For 3,500 naira only, meaning you are paying me 150 naira every day. Take your time, go and bring all your village people and register for this so that we can get children to start understanding routines, applying routines in their lives. Routines are not so that you can control your children. That's not what routine is. Routine is not there so that you can make your children obedient. That's not what routines are about. Routines are not there so that you can micromanage your home. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. Routines are there so that you can help children be everything that they can be within boundaries, so that you can help children become the best version of themselves within a boundary. Routine is accountability. Okay? Without accountability, no one amounts to anything. You are just there doing your thing. You don't account to anybody. I was telling the children the other day that even the president accounts to policies. All right? He is accountable. The policies will hold him accountable. Even the president is accountable. In the parliamentary system, he has to come and he has to sit down, right? With all the ministers and what? And shadow ministers, you know, with all the parties and everybody. He has to sit down right there and he has to make it make sense because he is accountable. So your boundaries and your routines are meant to teach your children from home the essence or the importance of boundaries of law. It is within those routines and your children will learn to be lawful. It is within those routines that your children will learn accountability. They will learn to follow instructions. They will learn to submit to authority. They will learn leadership. It is within those routines, basically. So how do you create a summer routines? We have just 3 minutes before we go off. First thing you want to do in your summer routine is, first of all, you want to pay attention to your family dynamics. So first thing first, pay attention to your family dynamics. All right. You work, your husband works, you work, your husband doesn't work. You must put all of that into consideration, especially when you have young children. So the routines must pay attention to the family's dynamic and, of course, put that into how you structure your routine. That's number one. Number two, your routine must be realistic, right? Your routine must be realistic. And so you want to put the heavy part, all right, or the serious part of, your day during the time that you are active, right, as parents. Because especially if you have young children, there is the place of modeling and there is the place of supervision. So if you have young children, you can't go to work, for instance, you work all night and then you come home and you sleep all day. And then you sleep probably for 5 hours or so when you come home. And then you put that morning as the time where the children do everything that is serious, and all of that. There will be no one to monitor them. I'll use myself as an example. So the children are on holiday right now. And so I am working, of course, fully at home. All right. So it's different now because the children are at home. So I work now from 4 a.m. in the morning to 12 or maximum 2. That's the cap that we're put on it. So I get off in the morning and work starts at 4. Work is starting at 4 because I want to maximize the time that I have, that everywhere is peaceful, and I don't have anyone calling for my attention and all of that. So I get a whole 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can you see? I've locked in 8 hours already into my work, right? And so I can get off work at 12 p.m. because I have locked in 8 hours already. That's what you do when you go to work, about 8 hours, isn't it? The days I decide to stretch it because I have a huge workload. I move it a little to about 2. So that way, it works for me. Now, when the children wake up, one of the things that they do during that period, the children get to do their chores. I don't need to. I have a 9 and a 14, almost 15-year-old. So I don't need to be there for you to do simple things like clean your room, and things like that. So they do that. They have their morning devotion by themselves. I don't need to be there. So I'm not going to fix a family devotion in the morning because of our dynamics. So they have that in the morning by themselves, right? Now I take a break for 15 to 20 minutes at 9 a.m. And that break is so that we call it review. So we call it a morning review. And that morning review, all we're doing is the children are just trying to fill me in on what it is that they've done this morning. Oh, I read Psalm 1 and it says, ta, 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 ta. I read my devotion. So they have their devotional with them. And then they're saying to me, I read this. And they just tell me, oh, this quote, got this quote. So it's a quick review, and then I want to know, what are your plans for the day? And then they have their plans. They created their plans for the day. They just run through their plan for me. Okay, my TV time is at 3 o'clock. So they just run through everything, like that and all of that. And then, okay, small talk there, and then I leave. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm done with our morning review. We have touched base, right? And then they go off. Now they finish doing their chore, they have their bath, they eat their meals, and they get on to doing productive things. They don't need me for that. Our son is writing a book right now that he chose to write by himself. And so he takes his computer and he begins to write. Our daughter is doing language, right? So she takes the system and she sits down there and she does something on Duolingo. So she does something on Duolingo right there. And then, of course, they are doing practice on Khan Academy. Self-instructed, direct, it is their thing. It has nothing to do with me and all of that. So they're there and he's doing he wants to start SATs preparation or something like that. So he goes in there and he's there and he goes through the program, for about 30-40 minutes and he's done. And then she goes through Duolingo and then she does the practice also on Khan Academy that they have fun doing. No teaching, no nothing, no serious, no structure and all of that. So they do that. At 12 o'clock, they are done with all of that, and the TV comes on in my home only after 12 p.m. Our daughter has 1 hour of screen time, and so she can get there and then watch something, of course, that we have already censored and has been approved, and so she watches and all that. All right, so that's about it. And then at 3 she watches that, and then we meet at 2. So it is at 2 o'clock that we have our family, whether we're doing a board game or we're doing any other thing, whatever it is that we've structured our 2s. I belong to the inner circle. Coach Wanyi's inner circle. So that's the time that we do our 2. Okay. So by the way, if you don't belong to a system, go fix yourself in a system, dear parents. Okay. There is something about learning. All right. In the community, there's something about learning, right? When you have higher knowledge and community knowledge going on. All right. And then that's also when the children do their mastermind too. Now, the mastermind is a peer mentorship and accountability group that we run for children between 6 and 14. Sorry. All right. So they have tools every day from the mastermind that makes them do, not us directing. They do. Okay. So we get them doing something. So that's when they also do their mastermind too. And so we have that great family time between 2 and 4 o'clock thereabout. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's about that. So we had time together for about 2 hours. And then I can get off and go do my thing. That's when I make the phone calls and read the books and do whatever, and then our daughter goes outdoor to play. Our son these days doesn't want to go outdoor like that, but I still encourage him, go outdoor, play, run, bicycle or anything. And the children get to be outside from that time till about 5:30. So they get at least 2.5 hours of outdoor play, because we can. All right. And then I can get the time to do whatever it is. So basically, this time that the full things, the real activities are happening, at the times that I make myself available. So how do we run that routine? So first of all, you want to tell yourself your dynamics, number one. All right. And then you want to fix the best things or the things that you do together at a time where you are available. So use your dynamics to decide when you are available, and so make it happen at the time that you are available. Now, make your routine during the summer also flexible. Okay. You don't want to do 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11. Put it in blocks. So, for instance, the children, for us, the children wake up what? At 7. My daughter wakes up at 7. My son wakes up at 6:30. And each of them will have their 30 minutes devotion by themselves. All you need to do is come out between 30 minutes or 1 hour after you wake up. I don't have a problem. All right. So they do that. So fix, it in a way that let your children still wake up early during the holiday. There is it's a routine that you want to create here. So whatever it is, create a routine, especially when they are older. If they are little, you still have toddlers, you can still do they sleep till about 9 or thereabout. But if you have children, let the routine match what it is when they go to school. Okay, maybe not that serious, but let that whole rising up early be a thing. Okay, let your children not feel because it's summer, we throw caution and throw everything out. So we actually sat down and asked the kids, when do you want to wake up? And then they picked their wake up time. But it cannot be, there was a caveat to it, it cannot be later than 8 o'clock in the morning. And so they picked their time, and all of that. So fix that. Now, based on your family values, what is it that you do when you get up? All right, so we would get up and make the bed and go straight into a morning devotion. But our morning devotion is individual. Do your thing in the morning. We don't have to pray together in the morning. So fix that devotion there. Block the morning so that you have prayers, you have chores, you have breakfast. Put it together. So the kids know that from morning till about 10 o'clock, okay, you get to do all of these things. Or from morning till about 12 o'clock, or from morning till about 11 o'clock, like us, you get to do this. Now, after that, for us, the next thing that comes after your morning routine is engage yourself positively. So because we're engaging positively, our son is writing, he goes to write. So he has a timetable. He's either writing on a particular day or he's doing graphics design practice. He's learning to, make graphics on Canva. So he's either doing that or he's learning or he's practicing, his Canva, whatever, and then our daughter likes to draw. She's either drawing or she is doing something on Duolingo or she's doing something on Khan Academy. Now that screen time is also timed, okay, and so it happens between 11 and about 12 o'clock. So it happens about 11 and 12 o'clock, and then you can have your leisure time. Now you can have your leisure time at that time, okay, anytime. So that leisure could be that you want to watch something on Netflix that we have agreed on, or you want to just go ahead and read a book. My children have locked in reading as a skill, so we don't have to stop and read together anymore. In the past, when they were younger, we have a fixed time where we stop and everybody takes a book. I take a book, Daddy takes a book, everybody takes a book, and we're reading at that time. Because at this time, we were modeling to the children, and we had to put a routine to reading so that reading is a must. That's how we got it there. Now, for during the challenge, once the challenge starts, we are going to look at our routine again, and we will fix a reading time for all of us at the same time where we do the activities of the challenge. Our son is 14. He doesn't have to be a part of the challenge, but because he's with us, he's always. So this year is not supposed to be, but he has decided he's going to do the challenge. So he's going to challenge himself to the number of books that he's going to read. The kids are all going to challenge themselves to the number of books. We don't have specified books. We just have categories of books and how many you have to. So you can choose to read 6 books, 12 books, 15 books, 20 books, or 30 books. Challenge yourself. That's what we want to do. We want you to challenge yourself. And of course, there's more to read. Okay, so we put you choose that, and then of course, some of the books have to be fiction, some of them have to be non-fiction, 1 or 2 of them have to be spiritual books, and then 1 or 2 of them have to be African books, like African stories. All right, so we get all of this in, and see, I'm excited about this challenge. I get very excited about the challenge because, of course, it means I'm acting a lot of drama this period. I'm shooting videos every day. I'm shooting videos, Tales by Moonlight. It's just exciting. It's an experience you want your child to have. It's so different this year. We've done this for 3 years, but this year is a whole 360 turnaround kind of thing. All right. So yes, for your children's routine, after that, okay, so after you have decided, so you now have a time. So if you're a young parent, a parent of young children, put a reading time where you lock it down and everybody reads so that you can model reading to your children. All right. Now also have a playtime. Okay, so for us, you can see at 2 o'clock we stop, we do a board game, do something, do our tools from the inner circle, do our tools from the mastermind where my children belong. Okay, and then we do that together. So that's your playtime with your children. Do something with your children. All right. Then after that, everybody's free to do their thing. So I go and I do my thing, and the children go play outdoor or choose to read a book or do whatever they want to do during that period. And then we converge again at 5:30 where we cook. So in my home, we all get into the kitchen together and we cook. If there's anyone that will be missing, it's probably me on a day that I have other things to do or a day that I want them to just do them. So it's more these days. I get them to do themselves more these days. So they go there, they cook the meal, and all of that. And then we eat breakfast together. So we eat breakfast together at 7 o'clock. While we're reading breakfast, each of us will go with our journal. They have their journal, I have my journal, and then we all go in. Okay, they are 14, almost 15, and 9. All right, then I have my niece with me this period. She's 21, so all of us. So I go with my journal. The children go with their own journal. And so we eat, we have a little chit chat together, and then each of us will journal. So it's a system that has been put in place to help us journal, and reflect on our day. So this is where we do gratitude. This is where we talk about the day. This is where we journal, what our day has been like. And then we move from there. They go clean up in the kitchen and I go do my thing. And at 8 o'clock, we converge again and we have Bible studies. So we're done with Bible studies and then we have an evening devotion after Bible studies. So we pray together after Bible studies. And at this time, it's somewhere around 8:40ish, 8:50ish, and I have wrapped up for the day with the children and I'm off to have a bath and do my thing. And the children are off. They would have had their bath at this time. And then they're off, to bed. And that's about it. So that's the routine. So you want to use this and, basically, so if you notice, our routine is quite flexible. Now, for days that we have to go out on excursions, we have to go out, to a park and all of that, it comes in, at that 2 o'clock. So you see, between that 2 o'clock where we're supposed to be playing and then their free time, we lock all that in and then we use that time from 2 till about 5:30, there about 6. And so when we come back, we can all jump into the kitchen, make dinner together, and this is how we roll. So that is it. You want to have a routine and you've been wondering how to go about it. I hope this helps you. Tomorrow we'll be back here at 8:30 a.m. where I'll be telling you about what to do to pick a list of books for the holiday. We will go through this, putting things together for the summer holiday so that you cannot come and say, I did not know what to do. I did not know how to do it and all of that, okay? During the summer holiday so that you can have a plan. By Friday, you should be able to put a solid summer plan together, okay? Not because you don't know, but because now I have gone through it with you step by step. So please go and create your routine today because you have been guided on how to do this. If you like your child to be a part of the Summer Book Reading Challenge, we have a link right here. Why don't you go ahead and screenshot that link right now or that information and use it to make payments. It's just 3,500. We extended the early bird price this morning. We extended it yesterday. It was supposed to end yesterday, but we've extended it. So go ahead and make payments. I cannot tell you any minute or any day we will go back to the actual price, which is 10,000 naira. So there's no need to pay 10,000 naira when you can pay 3,500. And we'll be with you and your child for 350 days, for 30 days, sorry. And we'll be teaching you how to read to your little children in a way that they can actually experience the character. There is a way, dear parents, to has what's the word, to program your children to be book lovers, especially for parents of very little children. There is a way. If you also want your child to be a part of the mastermind circle, our 1 year subscription, annual subscription program, okay, why don't you will see the link also at the end of this video and in the description on YouTube. You can click that link and book a slot for your child. We start a new cohort on the 1st of September. Thank you for joining me today. I do not take it for granted. If you're catching the replay, let us know if you got value and where you're joining us from. If you got value from this session, let us know in the comments that you did. Have a fantastic day and God bless you. Happy summer holiday. All right, bye now.